So it seems like every single week there's some more and more Nintendo Direct information to talk about. Now, recently there's been a lot. And when I say a lot, there's been a lot of games leaking online or rated across the board for Nintendo Switch and Nintendo Switch 2, which definitely could indicate a Nintendo Direct is just around the corner. And honestly, this is fantastic in a lot of different ways, because if we are going to be getting a Nintendo Direct soon, it better be right now because these games are kind of crazy. So what's going on, everyone? How's your day going? Let's get straight into the video. So recently, Splatoon Raiders has actually been rated in Europe, which is honestly really interesting, which means this game is pretty much almost done and almost ready to be released to the public, which honestly is fantastic in a lot of different ways, because ever since the initial announcement date for this game, we haven't really got any new information on it. And if we are going to be getting some sort of Nintendo Direct at some point, this game is definitely going to see the spotlight. It seems like this game was originally supposed to launch in 2026, so we're going to have to see what happens here. Same thing goes with Fire Emblem Fortune Weave. That has also been rated, so it seems like something's going on here. These games are almost ready to be released, so honestly, this right here is really great in a lot of different ways. Now, we also have a lot of third-party games that have been rated, so this is really cool. Now, first off, Star Fox has been rated for Nintendo Switch 2 in the Taiwanese rating board. So Star Fox is supposedly coming to Nintendo Switch 2, and we might have just got the confirmation here. Now, honestly, this is great in a lot of different ways, because Microsoft was explaining that they were going to release this game sometime soon in 2026 or something for the Nintendo Switch 2. Seeing that has been rated, we're probably going to be getting the official announcement trailer for this, so honestly, that would be great in a lot of different ways. We also have some sort of news on Assassin's Creed Black Flag getting some sort of remaster or remake, which potentially could lead into the idea of it coming to Nintendo Switch 2. Maybe this is the perfect time for the Nintendo Switch 2 as a whole. Now, we also have a lot of other Microsoft exclusive games that have been potentially leaked for the system. Now, I've been talking a lot but recently about Forza Horizon, Call of Duty, and Halo potentially making their way. It seems like Microsoft might be looking into that idea, but also they're reportedly discussing that internally they want to return to exclusive. Should they return, or should they keep it the way that it is? Overall, this definitely is really interesting. We also have Diablo 4, which has been rated for Nintendo Switch 2. So this is another game that potentially could be coming sometime very soon. Now, honestly, I think that all of these things are great. But now we also have another Sonic game. Well, pretty much the same Sonic game. Sonic Frontiers Definitive Edition has been rated in Korea. So potentially the Sonic game is coming out very soon for the Nintendo Switch 2. Now, these are all games that definitely have some sort of connection with the Nintendo Switch 2, and definitely seeing these games would be really cool. We also have another one here, that's Hell Is Us, rated for Nintendo Switch 2. Now, I'm not sure what this game actually is about, but these are a lot of games here. So my point being, if we are going to be getting a Nintendo Direct at some point, it's either going to have to be a general Direct for Splatoon Raiders and also Fire Emblem, but then we would also see a partner showcase for all of these other games. Potentially what Nintendo could be doing is loading up a partner showcase full of these games that have been rated in different continents, and then eventually we're going to be getting our final General Direct. Or this could just be all in a General Direct, because up to this point Nintendo does like to do General Directs that are like an hour long. So what they could easily do is slap in all the Zelda stuff that seems like we are going to be seeing, Ocarina of Time, potentially like remasters and remakes of other Legend of Zelda games, and then we're going to see our main General Direct, which usually falls into like there's going to be third-party stuff and then some random crap and then eventually some more big games announcement. that definitely could be it, because right now these games are definitely not small in any other way. It pretty much is that big game, and usually when it comes to partner showcases, it's usually small games. This is what I'm seeing. So usually when we see Microsoft or whatever, it would most likely be in a general Nintendo Direct. So that's when we would most likely see Starfield. That's when we would most likely see Forza or Halo, if that's going to be coming to the system. But overall, I think that this is honestly great, and it's pointing into the right direction of a Nintendo Direct potentially even happening later this week, or should we say next week, the week that's coming. So honestly, I am really excited to see what's going to be happening, because I don't necessarily see Nintendo holding on to all of these games grouped up in a big group and saying, we're going to wait until June, because June is like the part of E3 that doesn't happen anymore, but we're going to make it our show for our general direct. What they could easily do is have one now and potentially have one later, seeing that Nintendo is seemingly going back to 2 separate directs. So one big direct like earlier in the year, and then another big direct sharing some more news in 2027 later on in the year. They're potentially going to cut it down to 2 different directs, which honestly, this might sound bad, but I feel like 2 different directs isn't necessarily the worst thing in the world. Now I know there's definitely been a lot of compilation about, hey, what the heck is going on here? We need to know news and games and stuff like that. But think about it this way. If they do 2 Nintendo Directs, that means that both Directs would be a really big event. So one of them would share all the games that are releasing the year that the Direct actually happens on. And then the next Direct would be some things for later on in that year. And then, of course, big things for the next year, and then it would sort of rinse and repeat. It's probably not going to be like that all the time. Maybe Nintendo just has to get their things together in order for the Nintendo Switch 2. It's honestly going to be great. Star Fox seems like it's going to be coming, of course. There's definitely been a lot of leaks and rumors about that, so I honestly believe it, like probably a good 98% that we are going to be getting a Star Fox game. And also the Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time keeps getting more leaks and rumors that it seems like this game is going to be built on a whole new engine. So potentially you might like this or you might hate this, because of course it is a ground up remake. It is going to be different compared to Ocarina of Time 3D or Ocarina of Time N64, whatever you want to call it. So potentially you're gonna like it or hate it, but right now it's looking really good. There's gonna be something to do with like new quests and new things, so it's going to be really, really great. And of course, Rhythm Haven Groom is July and other things associated to that. So if this is a Nintendo Direct actually happens, I think it will happen at some point. We're probably getting really, really close to this Nintendo Direct. So anyways, what are your thoughts on this? Do you think that something's happening or not too much? Anyways, thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed. Consider hit the like button, maybe subscribing if you're new. We do a bunch of different Nintendo content on this channel. Anyways, thank you so much. See you in the next one.